government shutdown is looming, and lots of back and forth. Donald Trump refuses to meet with Democrats, now blaming them, say they don't have any idea what the hell they're doing. And look, my position is real simple. Shut that shit down and say, y'all own it. Y'all own it. Let them take the heat. This is real simple. Republicans control the House, they control the Senate, they control the White House. So how can you control all the levels of government, but then you want to say it's Democrats' fault if the government shuts down? Ashley Etienne, former aide to Speaker Nancy Pelosi, she's very familiar with these battles. She joins us right now. All right, so what's your advice to these hard-headed Democrats who frankly don't like to play hardball, but who should be playing hardball? And again, Ashley, I'm like, all right, y'all want to shut that shit down? Y'all going right ahead.
I mean, here's my thing. You know, Roland, it's rare that I disagree with you, but I'm going to disagree with you in this moment.
Bad move. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, here's the thing. Democrats right now with this sort of illusion of bipartisanship is, in my opinion, playing footsie with the devil here. You're not going to be able to win this battle with Donald Trump. Why? Because he doesn't care. They're willing to sacrifice the hostage, which is his own people. So if you shut it down, of course, his people are going to be impacted greatly. But he's now put on the table more cuts in federal employees, which actually impacts Black women disproportionately. 12% of the federal workforce is Black women. So we've already seen where Black women, 300,000 of us, are out of the workplace. And the reality is, like, this could impact those women even, that population even more greatly. But my larger point is that you don't pick a fight that you're not prepared to win. I mean, you don't go into a battle you're not prepared to win. When you've got your opponent who's willing, again, to sacrifice the hostage, what's your situation? How can you win in that dynamic? Secondly, Donald Trump is a master communicator. I don't think we've given him enough credit. If we shut down the government, the first thing he's going to do is blame Democrats for the entirety of the state of the economy, from high prices to the skyrocketing.
But Ashley, if you don't shut the government down, he's going to do the exact same thing as well. So it doesn't matter whether you do it or you don't. He's going to blame you. We saw
he's not blaming Democrats now. He can't. I mean,
yes, he is.
He's not blaming Democrats now.
Yes, he is.
But let me.
Right now, he's blaming Democrats. Right now, by literally. Go ahead.
Okay, my point is, so you shut the government down, then what? The only way to open the government back up is if you give votes. He's already told you he's not going to negotiate with you. And you don't negotiate with terrorists. So where is the win for Democrats in that scenario? My point is that we put too much.
No. Here's what been my win. They don't need the Democrats' help to keep the government open.
No, in the Senate, you got to have 60 votes. They need 7 Democrats to vote yes.
Okay, and guess what? If you want my vote, what you give me for it?
My thing is they've already failed at negotiation. The Democrats.
Okay, so your advice is for them to go ahead, vote for it, and then what?
No, you vote for it, but more importantly, and it's what the DCCC is doing right now. You've got to make Donald Trump own it. You've got to put the ball squarely in their court.
Hold on. Now I'm confused. Okay. On one hand, you say that if the Democrats vote allowed to shut down, he's going to blame them. Now you're saying, but they should vote for it, keep the government open, but then make Donald Trump own it. But you say he's a master communicator, so how are they going to make him own it? So
you digital ads in these states go right into these districts and make your argument, which is an economic argument.
And what's the argument?
The argument is that Republicans voted to. Your Republican, your representative, your senator voted to cut Medicaid, voted to cut federal spending. The same argument they made about the big, beautiful bill. You keep leaning into those arguments.
So how does that help them when their polling numbers are still awful?
Well, my point is I don't think they do it with a level of consistency and hard edge that actually has impact.
Okay, when
and
you
if
say
you do
hard,
it with the level.
Okay, what's hard edge? No. Here's the deal. I need examples.
Sure.
So again,
I'm going to give you some examples.
Right.
So I think, go ahead.
No.
What they're saying right now is there is a looming shutdown. Republicans are responsible for it. Change that narrative. Here's what Republicans are voting for: higher prices, higher grocery prices. They're voting to cut Medicare, Medicaid, et cetera, et cetera. But I think the one thing, can I just add this as a wrinkle? The one thing I think Democrats can do to drive this contrast right now, because you can run those ads now, make them own it, make them pay for it. But what we need to do is to launch a proactive agenda so we can start to draw the contrast. Right now, we're not talking about what we stand for, how we would be managing the economy differently than this current president. That's also a big gaping hole right now for Democrats, is they talk about Trump, but they're not yet, talking about what they would actually do. What's the proactive agenda? When I went back to Pelosi's office, we had already launched to some degree our proactive agenda by this point. So what we were able to do is to say, this is what they're doing, but this is what we would do. And so you draw that contrast. Right now, you're just, it's a soft punch, which is, that there's a looming shutdown and they're responsible for it. No. You tell people exactly they're hurting right now. It is the fault of the Republicans. We would do things differently. And I think that is a winning combination. But you can't pick a fight, this particular fight with Donald Trump, because you're not going to win it. So you shut down the government, and then what? They don't care. They don't care about jobs. They don't care about their own people. They don't care about the country hurting. So you don't have any leverage in that negotiation with them. When they're willing to burn the whole thing down every day, which is what they're currently doing, you think you're going to go in a negotiation and have the upper hand with them? Absolutely not. They could care less. And they know for a fact, every time they shut down the government, at the end of the day, both parties got blamed for it. It was pox on both houses. It's never a shutdown is never a clean win for anybody. But my point is, we've already demonstrated. And I guess my position is from a standpoint of I have a lack of confidence in our leadership right now. So I'm not confident that you can take me into this battle and get me out of it unscathed and clean, and that Donald Trump's going to own it. I don't believe that that's going to happen. So my point is, you got to make them pay for it right now. Go into these districts aggressively from the DSCC to the DCCC, aggressively run ads, pointing the finger at them, and then contrast it at some point really soon with what we would do as Democrats. That's what also helps shore up confidence. That's what also helps drive some of those polls. But if you're not introducing a proactive agenda, it's empty. It's toothless to some degree.
Well, I just think that, again, when I sit here and look at what you talked about, an aggressive tack, an aggressive tone, I'm sorry, I don't see it. And I'm just trying to.
That's my point. Is they're not being aggressive.
And then I do see it. I see it from folks like Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett.
Totally.
I see it folks like from Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I see that, but again, I'm trying to figure out literally where's the DNC in all of this.
I agree. Let me make a good point to you. To drive the point that they're not being aggressive enough, I just mentioned a couple facts. 300,000 Black women have now dropped out of the economy. Black unemployment is at record 7.5%. I called the DNC and I said,
first of all, what you just said right there, that's just too much Black. They try to mention all that Black. Go ahead.
Well, but they should be, because we vote for them 92% and 85 plus.
I know.
I mean, there is no Democratic Party without us. So yeah, I'm going to start with us. I'm centering us, as they should. And so my question was, what have y'all said about this? What have y'all said about this? I went to the CBC, I went to the leadership offices, and went to the DNC asking this question. This is your base vote. Without Black women in particular, you don't have a party. Without Black people, you don't have a party. So I want to know what you said about it. The DNC sent me a statement from some spokesperson. Why a spokesperson? Why isn't Ken, who's the head of the party, leaning into this to start to bridge that bill with our voters?
White United States Senator.
Hold on. Let me finish. Then I went to the CBC. I've not seen a statement from them either about it. That's a problem. Then I went to the leadership office, who happens to look like us. I didn't see a statement about it. I mean, I could be missing it, but I asked and I didn't see a statement about it. So my point is, I don't have confidence that you can get in the middle of a fight like a shutdown, because I've been in the middle of a shutdown. I remember turning to Nancy Pelosi when we were at 30 days and said to her, "Madam, you've got to give Trump what he wants. This can't go on any longer." And she said to me, look me dead in my face, "You've got to have a stomach for this job. Now is when he gets weak." My thing is, we don't have that type of leadership anymore. I mean, you can't even issue a statement acknowledging the crises that your base vote, your most consistent, loyal base vote, holding up the whole party is dealing with right now. So why would I have the confidence that you can get into the middle of the fire and be able to handle yourself? So I don't disagree with you. I think the reality is there is no aggressive messaging. My point is that there has to be, the moment demands it, and we need to couple it with a proactive agenda so that we can start to draw this contrast so people can start to understand who is to blame for this.
Well, for me, you had a white United States Senator from Missouri who literally gave a white nationalist speech saying our ancestors took this country for us, and it was for them, and it was for us, and only us. And to your point, I hit Chairman Ken Martin directly. I hit Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries. I hit Congresswoman Yvette Clarke directly. And I'm like, I hit a person in Senator Chuck Schumer's office. I think the only thing I saw was a tweet from the CBC. And I'm like, that's it? And I think, and I'm just being honest, I think Democrats are so damn scared to say black, to say Latino, because of this anti-DEI stuff, and you've got white Democratic strategists saying, shh, don't. So
then we need to reassess this.
No. I'm telling you. I think what's here.
I quit his ass.
I think you got
so
white.
We got to reassess this relationship.
You got white Democratic strategists who are saying, shh, don't say black, don't say Latino, don't say people of color. Let's just keep it vanilla, because that's what we got to do. That's what's going on here.
So my question to you, though, is, I mean, you've got a massive platform. I tell you all the time, there's nowhere I can't go in the country where someone doesn't say, I saw you on Roland. So my thing is, what are we going to do about it? We have the power in the dynamic.
Well, we do, first of all.
I mean, you got the CBC happening right now. There's leaders from all over the country right now in Washington, D.C.
Listen, I moderated only one panel, and that was Congressman Hank Johnson. I'm not doing anything else. I'm not on anybody else's stage. I said in that panel what we're going to do. We're going to actually restream that panel discussion. We laid out very clear specifics what needs to happen. But what I've made perfectly clear is that we have leadership, political leadership, civil rights leadership, preachers. It's everybody running scared. Let me just be as frank as possible. What Donald Trump has done, and I don't think Democrats don't want to admit this, others don't want to admit it. They're scared to death. They're like, he's vindictive, he's going to seek retribution, he's snatching funds, and everybody is scared. And I'm like, well,
we're the first losers.
And I'm like, well, guess what? If somebody is going to sit here and come at you guns blazing, well, you damn sure better be prepared to fire back. If somebody's going to be trying to come take you out politically, you better be ready to fire back. And what I'm saying is, I am not seeing the focus on mobilization and organization. So what I am saying to black people, I'm not waiting on Schumer. I'm not waiting on Jeffries. I ain't waiting on Ken Martin. I'm telling my audience, send your money to Black Voters Matter. We have black organizations. You got Georgia Stand Up. You got entities in North Carolina. I am not wasting my time on a party, because our interests ain't Democratic interests, they're black interests, to the point that Greg always makes, that we're going to use them as the vehicle to be able to get what we got. That's the Democratic Party is the delivery system. Right. For what we want.
Well, Roland, you and I talk about this offline all the time. It's not just a delivery system. It is one of the most profitable businesses in the country. They raised $2 billion in 100 days. There's no other entity in this country that's raised $2 billion in 100 days. More importantly, there's only a two-party system. So we need this party, that party, to work for us.
Right. No, but what I'm saying is,
the whole anti-black, I'm scared, I'm running scared. We shoulder the burden of that first. You can see it right now in the numbers. More severely. And you're talking about black women who hold up the entire community.
What I'm saying is what we are advocating are for black interests. The Democratic Party is the delivery system. And so understanding that.
But it's a big money maker.
No. I know it's a big money maker, but the point I am making is, if I have finite resources, I'm not going to send it to a candidate. I'm not sending it to a party. I'm not sending it to a PAC. My whole deal is this: send our money to a black entity that we know is on the ground, that employs black people, that we know that works with black pollsters, that we understand that, because that's the issue. Listen, a very prominent person came to me pissed off when Win with Black Men raised that $1.5 million, and came to me and said, y'all were the only group that raised money and didn't send it all to Kamala's campaign. I said, you goddamn right we did. I said, because it was my idea. And the person said, well, the Kamala Harris Finance Committee, they're upset. I said, I don't give a shit if y'all upset. I said, I was not going to raise money for a campaign and send the money to a campaign and then go beg the same white folks to send some of that money back. So we raised 1.5 million, 1.1 million went to the campaign. We kept 450 grand and we distributed that money to black organizations. And I ain't apologizing for it. And what I am arguing is that what we as black people have to do, we have got to have the courage to fund our own institutions, to drive our people to get out to vote, and still making demands of that system. But what I'm not going to do is wait on them to fund and organize us. That ain't happening.
We are in agreement, Roland. We started off disagreeing. Now we're in agreement.
No, I know you started off disagreeing. I was good.
No. I mean, the shutdown is not the fight. You don't have the right leadership to make that happen. My point, I 100% agree with you. And I think, we need to be challenging in this moment our leadership. And we need to your point, also be more inward facing. I mean, we are suffering from a silent crisis right now. Not just those two facts I just named. If black men aren't going to college, I can go on and on and on. We've got our own house that we need to shore up again. Yeah. So I don't disagree with you. And I think to some degree, this might be the time better than any other time for us to actually do that, to recenter ourselves. Stop seeing ourselves as the victim of power, but the actual source of power, which we are in all of these dynamics, and figuring out how best to leverage that power for our own benefit. And it's got to be to your point, decentralized way of doing that. It's not going to come out of Washington. You look at, to your point, to my point, earlier, these brothers, these mayors are doing phenomenal work. I mean, there's a lot of black leadership outside of Washington that is impressively defending our interests, that we need to also shore up and continue to hold up as a model and pressure our this institution. But we can't walk away from this party dynamic. They've got too much money, too much weight. We've got too much skin in the game. And clearly what we've been experiencing over the 9 months is that we've got the most to lose out of it.
Yeah, no, I'm not walking away from it. What I'm damn sure going to do is to put their ass in check.
Well, listen, invite me to the party, okay?
Oh, listen, I already know. I've already heard from many people, he's too loud, he's too brash, he's too arrogant, he's too cocky. Hey, this is real simple. The best way to shut me up is to pay black people, hire black firms, distribute that money to the folk out there. But I've made it perfectly clear. I'm going to sit here and ride their ass as hard as possible, because here's the thing that actually drives them crazy. And to the simple Simon Negroes out there, y'all fools who keep saying, oh, yeah, he's not going to be on the air if the Democrats ain't funding them. Hell, they ain't funding us now. And we here. And for all y'all fools who keep talking, oh, yeah, you got 350 grand from Kamala Harris's campaign. We got way more from the donors of this show, the 36,000 people who've donated since we launched this show. So don't no party control what we do, and I'm going to hold their ass accountable, because we not playing any of these games. And I said it before and I say it again. If there are some Democrats who ain't doing their job, primary their ass and bounce them from office and put some folks in who ready to swing.
Can I just challenge you on that too?
What?
Again, because, I arrived in this town with only one goal in mind, and that was to represent my people. So we've got to ensure that nobody is beyond reproach when it comes to our interest. And that's also,
my point.
No, hold on, because I think we skip over this part. That's also leadership that looks like us, that's been at the table for a very long time.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry.
None of these issues.
No, I'm sorry. Did you miss what I just said? I was clear.
No,
No.
I wanted to punctuate one point.
No, did you clearly miss what I said? I was very clear when I said, if there are people who are not doing the job and who are not representing us, primary their asses and bounce them from office. I didn't say white, I didn't say black, I didn't say female. That goes for anybody. I'm real clear.
I just want you to say that part, Roland.
but I already said it.
Punctuate that point, though.
I already punctuated it.
Punctuate that point because.
But it's the first time I said it on the show.
But I don't watch it. I'm just saying in the context.
I've said it numerous times. Ain't nobody guaranteed their political seat. Nobody. Nobody on a federal level, the state level, the county level, the city level, the school board level, no judge, no DA. You got to earn it every time. Got it?
Listen.
Was that punctuated enough?
I just wanted you to say it.
It ain't the first
because
time.
The reality is, and you and I know this, and I've been in these rooms for a very long time. Most of the people doing the damage to us look like us.
Oh, I got it.
Hold on, and let me tell you, I know you're a believer, like I'm a believer, and this word has been circling me, which is Moses is dead. It's time for the Joshua generation, and it's not an issue of age; it's an issue of mentality.
No, but hold on, we're gonna go biblical. Then we got to really go biblical because it was because it was Moses.
Where are you gonna start?
No, because it was Moses who sent Joshua and Caleb and the other men into to survey the land. And what happened was the weak dudes came back and said, ooh, they too big, they too strong. And it was Caleb and Joshua who told him the truth. And then he then said, I am going to give you your inheritance. And then he picked Joshua to be the leader, and then Caleb also to follow Joshua. So what has to happen is Moses was an authentic leader who then chose that. So what has to happen is, what has to happen is we got to have some Calebs and Joshuas who understand to be understudies, but then we also got to have the Moseses who know when they are moving on, leadership then rises up. The problem is Moses recognized he was never going to live forever. The problem politically is we got folk who don't believe they ever gonna die in office, and they never actually pick a Caleb and a Joshua.
Absolutely.
That's the problem.
And also, though, not realizing, and this is not realizing that their time is up. That's my point. That's
right, but Moses recognized it. Too many of our folk, they don't. Ashley, I appreciate it.
That's my point. Yes, you're right. We're together.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. You finally came around. All right. I'm gonna go to the panel here. Did we finally have Nola? Did she finally get her Cricket Wi-Fi working?
Wow. Apologies to the wonderful people that I am staying with in your beautiful home. Please excuse Roland Martin.
I'm going to mess with you regardless. I don't care.
Yes.
It don't matter who you staying with, where you at, whether you at your house, whether you in New Orleans, it don't matter. So
to my friends.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Listen, the point here, whether we talk about the shutdown or whatever, and I heard it today at CBCF, and I hear wherever I go around the country. Nola, what people are looking for, they're looking for people to lead. Everybody is scared. It's like seriously, people are like, yo, who is going to lead in this moment? See, now she frozen. See, that's what I'm talking about. Greg, I'm gonna go to you on that one. So, Greg, that's the thing here. People are looking, they are craving, they are desperate for leadership.
They are, and more than any single other thing, people are afraid of pain. A shutdown is going to cause real pain. It's going to cause real damage. That nasty piece of work Russell Vogt, that nasty piece of work at the Office of Management and Budget wants a shutdown. so they can continue the project that they laid out in Project 2025, which is basically eviscerating the federal government, firing people permanently. John Boy Roberts and his white nationalist majority at the Supreme Court have clearly shown with their abuse of the rocket docket that they are on board with destroying the federal government, at least in the short term. They're saying, well, we'll come back and rule on the merits, but the interim is what you have to worry about, because a lot of people, somebody loses their job, they got to go find another way to pay their rent, to pay their mortgage, to eat. And so, who's to say they're going to come back to the workforce? So people are more, I think, concerned about the pain they will suffer. Something Sister Etienne said, I thought it was very interesting, about 15 minutes ago, 10 or 15 minutes ago, when she said she went into Nancy Pelosi's office 3 weeks into the shutdown and said, hey, we got Madam Speaker, and she said, you got to have a stomach for this. I think that was the determinative moment. This country, I don't think, it can't be saved in its current form. It's going to have to go through a very difficult period, and who knows what comes out on the other side. There aren't, clearly Hakeem Jeffries isn't up to the job. Chuck Schumer was never up to the job. Clearly, as you said, there are people in federal representatives like Ocasio-Cortez and like Jasmine Crockett who are more than up to the job. And I think finally what we are going to see is that this quote-unquote revolution, if there's going to be one, and I hate to use the Hunger Games, the obvious Hunger Games reference, but here it is going to come from the hinterlands. It's going to come from the Westmores, and it's going to come from the Gavin Newsoms, and it's going to come from at the state level in terms of governors, the Pritzkers in Illinois and others. It's going to come from the cities, as we see with Brandon Johnson in Chicago, or the mayor of Boston, or even soon Mamdani in New York. It's going to come from those local officials you're talking about. And so I think, even as we just receiving news, I think, Roland, I don't know, you have to check because your sources are much better than mine, that they have forced with this purebred political hack in Virginia. The grand jury has indicted James Comey. What we are seeing is that white nationalist side that Trump and his white nationalist handlers, they are throwing all caution to the wind. When you are in a fight like that, there is no such thing as a reasonable accommodation or a reasonable compromise. You must now go to war. And I think there are going to be some losses on the Democratic side before this is all over. But that pain, if there's any chance for this country to emerge on the other side of that pain with something even resembling what it was before Trump won the election, I think it's going to just require some pain. And we just got to get our minds around that.
Noah, we got you.
Okay, wonderful.
Well, just start talking before you go out. Just go.
Oh, Jesus. Yes. So people are looking for a leader, and all the people that were mentioned. But one of the things that really stands out is everything that we've said. It's what the base is wanting. I always say this thing that it's challenging to kind of explain the policies behind a decision. People just want to show you, they want to see you showing up. They want to see you showing up with gloves on, ready to fight, ready to be that aggressive person. That's what the people are wanting. And there's always this huge disconnect between what a politician needs to do as a politician versus what the base is wanting that politician to do. And right now, the base is screaming for a heavy hitter. And unfortunately, we're just not seeing it with the leadership that exists right now. And to Ashley's point about is the shutdown the hill that the Democrats want to die on? Because if they don't have the juice to bring Trump to the initial negotiating table, are they going to have the juice to turn the lights back on? So I think that's a very interesting and important argument. But besides that specific problem, people want to see leadership punching back, and they still aren't. And people are still very upset about that Kirk vote in the October 14th Memorial Day. And the Dems lost a lot in the community with that specific vote. So they are caught between a rock and a hard place right now with this shutdown, with people wanting to see them show up strong versus knowing they don't have the juice to turn the lights back on if they don't vote with the Republicans, to avoid the shutdown. So they need that fighter. We don't have a fighter in there right now. And that's what people are wanting to see, straight up.
Deborah?
We can't be scared. And it's not just them, it's us. It's the people in our neighborhoods. They're suppressing the vote. They're starving social programs. They're impacting the marginalized communities with disabilities. But those grassroots organizers, those faith leaders, those disabled advocates, all these everyday folks are holding this country together. Even when people are getting fired, even when they are feeling like their rights are being trampled over, we have to look within us. It's not just them. We got to hold them accountable. We have to organize. We have to take accountability. If not you, then who? If not now, then when? It's our time. This is our country. And as we saw with Target and our boycott, as we saw with Jimmy Kimmel last week, if we stick together and really do something, all it takes is one group of people to say, hey, we don't like this. We're not going to deal with this. We looked at those students at TSU last week, and we see them running those MAGA supporters out of there. Because when we organize, when we work together, we change things. And when we start at our lower levels of government, city council, and we're getting these people out of office that don't belong, that are overstaying their welcome, and we're really educating our people, educating each other from friends to the family, supporting each other, supporting our businesses, and getting back to those grassroots efforts that made us the communities that we are. That's how we get to the next level. That's how we hold them accountable.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and I'm here with a very important message. We are at a turning point in the Black community where we must have equity in the apps we use that scale to billions of dollars. But this time, we own the infrastructure, we own the culture, and we shape the future. And Fanbase is the future. Fanbase combines the free functionality of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube into an all-in-one platform built for the evolution of social media and monetization. With over 1.4 million users, that's real proof that we are shifting the conversation of tech ownership and equity for creators. So right now, I want you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. This marks a turning point in Black ownership of social media. If we don't take this opportunity to own social media right now, we will always be customers to our own creations. And that can't go on. So once again, go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. We must own the platforms where our voices live, our stories matter, and where our culture drives the world. Thank you.